So the question was, how long did you study? What resources did you use?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I started studying back in January 2019, went all the way to May 2019, and just kind of like, oh, wait, oh, 2019. Is that right?
Yeah, it's 2021.
2020. Wait, oh my gosh. Dates are hard. January 2020, because I realized we're in 2021, so it's 2020. January 2020, studied, floundered, actually got like 7 points worse than my diagnostic score. So I think that first one was a fluke. And I was using Khan Academy, which I liked for like basic logic games, like how to make inferences, all that jazz, how to diagram kind of. Then I kind of delved into like LSAT Unplugged free videos, which I loved. Granted, Steve is not for everybody. I freaking love Steve. I just felt like it really worked for me. And then my mentors helped me to afford the Test Masters course, which I loved because Robin Singh is the queen of my life, but also he's definitely, I think there's some flaws with the program depending on what kind of studier you are. But I absolutely love Test Masters. At least like it was just like my super niche style. And just like drastically improved. Like how many points?
Do you think that you would have done as well with test masters as you did if you went in with no information, no knowledge?
So I think like it helped me refine my games for sure, but also like LSAT Unplugged refine my games. I had no strategy for LR whatsoever or reading comp, and I think what I took out of Taskmasters the most was like they're weird. The thing that they do, which I think definitely sets some people off, is they give each question type a number, so you focus on just recognizing it and knowing how to approach it. And like for me, that was like so crucial. For most people it will make you flounder, but it's also individual preference. But I loved it, and I think for reading it helped me start to build the strategy I currently use. It wasn't until after I was done with the test and like my last month of study, or last last month of my studying before the test, so I like finished like a month before August. um I built my own reading comp strategy, and so like a lot of that was just kind of like teasing out what worked, what didn't work, what do I like, how do I work well. And I think a lot of that self work is something that we don't really think about, and that's not what a prep course can really teach you. So it's like you either learn it from somebody who's good at analyzing you, or you get really good at self analysis, and I think that's really what makes the difference in score. um
I want to. You know, I think that there's a lot of people that hate. We hate people that hate on different courses, and they're like, "Oh, it's not worth it." Blah blah. Blah. I think one of the things is courses are hard when you have no background information. But if you have someone kind of teach you, like, "Hey, these are the core basics, and this is how you should study or even use this program," a lot of the programs can be good. Like Test Master. Like I think Test Masters sometimes people will be like, "Oh, I didn't get anything from it," but if they kind of, I think some people just don't know how to study. Do you agree with that, Jasmine? Like
I mean, I was somebody who didn't know how to study,
yeah.
but I think
You're also
like
a very intuitive person, naturally.
I just I just go, I'm weird. But I think what was nice was that I think the biggest thing that really was hurting me was I was studying without a structure, and test masters had enough structure in terms of like the course itself and how it was organized to where like I could say, okay, I'm gonna do a lesson today and do that. And that was like really great. Some people they need even more structure, but like that being how overwhelmed I was with like no place or knowledge of where to start, that was super
Mhm.
effective. And I think too, I just like how Robin Singh teaches. Like, oh, this man, literally Queen Robin. I
Well,
cry.
the
I
funny
want to teach
part
it.
is that Avery that both of these people have signed up for our boot camp, Jasmine, and now you're selling them a different course.
No, I'm just talking about Robin Singh
I'm
and
just kidding.
beautiful shampooable hair. Oh my gosh. But it's just like I think there's a lot of things about that course that like it's weird, and like there are some gimmicks. But what I also appreciate is that like I think why I loved it was my style. And I think everyone, like the hardest part about LSAT studying is finding something that's your style. Um,
Yeah,
so
that's good. What
yeah,
what
I will
was your
talk about Robin
diagnostic
like the end of
Actually,
Earth.
I mean, gosh,
what was your diagnostic score?
So my diagnostic, the 151 was a fluke, absolute fluke. Because then I went down into like the 140s. Like I went down to 143 at some point, and I was like,
Hmm.
what am I
after how
doing?
many months
And
of
that's
studying? 5, right?
hmm?
After 5
Yeah, but I think again, it was like I didn't have a great structure. Like I told myself after work, I go to Starbucks, sit for an hour, absorb the Khan Academy. But Khan Academy was really like confusing to me for like LR in reading comp. I think my initial like instinct was probably much better before I looked at their videos. So yeah, it really showed me like how much I needed a good structure and needed to find something that really worked, which is where
Do
like
you feel
uh-huh.
do you feel like because I will be signing up for the boot camp that you guys are offering. Do you feel like, because that's what I need structure. So do you feel like, I know I spoke with Nicole, she said that there will be structure, but do you feel like it will be similar to what was provided in Test Masters?
So it's, I mean, similar in that like you get stuff to do. Like so
Mhm.
Test Masters, like it's kind of like any course. Like you've got your lesson, you got your homework videos.
Mhm.
What we do in our boot camp course, like we give homework. The difference being like you don't have to complete it to move on to the next module. Like you can show up to class. We highly recommend doing all the homework. It's a lot of work, we know, but
Mhm.
like it's that repetition that helps you build the muscles. Um,
Got it.
Granted, you also get access to us to like ask different questions about like your structure and like your study style.
And
Um,
to be analyzed. We're really like I
yeah, we
would
like analyzing all y'all.
yeah, at least I would say one of my strengths, I think I have weaknesses as well, but one of my strengths is I'm very good at analyzing students and what they're struggling with. It is not necessarily like, oh, I'm just bad at necessary assumption questions. It's like, no, you're bad at the not bad. You need to work on this skill set.
Growth
It doesn't have
areas.
anything to do with
Delta.
necessary assumption questions. And that's where I think that like so Malika was actually one of my first students, like back in the day. Like how when did we start working together, Malika? Like 9 months ago?
2020, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I should say like when I was like on my own. I tutored for a different company, like a larger company before, but on my own. And like even like Malika used Khan Academy for a long time paired with instruction, and she got a lot out of it because it was structured. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like
Thank you.
there's a lot of good resources, but oh, I know what it was. It was the being analyzed is what saves you a significant amount of time. A lot of us can self-study and get there eventually, but when you have someone else that one you trust and two like kind of knows who you are and what you're this is why we're really big on enneagrams or just like learning styles is this is what I know that this is your skill set, like how do we use that to your advantage on the test. I'm a 7 as well as you are, so like for me like doing a video course sounds boring to be honest, but doing something live sounds fun.
See, I'm like the opposite, or I'm
Yeah, and
and it's I think it's also because I process those, so I'm like, I need to be able to watch all the videos 50 times. Also, live interaction stresses me out. Unless
I can't wait. I'm like, I want the live interaction.